Expectations were set for what to expect of elements, themes, and environs. The accolades bestowed on knights true and bold, dubbed Mirror, Dove, Blood, and Iron. Welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line, folks. This is the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. This is episode 1 of our brand new campaign of Mythic Bastionland, the Adamant Expanse. Welcome, everybody. My name is John. I'm the referee for the evening, and going around the horn, we have...
Hello, I am Mike, and I am playing Sir Malachi, the Bloody Knight.
Hello, I'm David, and I'm playing Sir Meridian, the Mirror Knight.
Hi, everybody. I'm Matt. I am playing tonight. What's his name? Oh, Sir Brunor, the Black, the Iron Knight.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ted, and I will be playing Sir Aurelius, the Dove Knight.
Lovely. Okay, that is our company of knights that received their accolades last session at the very end of episode 0. If you haven't checked out episode 0, go and check it out. It was a lot of fun. All right, so yeah, we ended the session with all of their individual seers in all of their individual realms, in their individual sancta, giving the accolades to these 4 squires, 4 young squires, and making them their titled knights. And they were told that they were all going to be sent, they were going to meet each other upon the road, upon the seas, perhaps, to venture together as a company to enter the realm of the Adamant Expanse, which is in desperate need of true knights. And I promised to you at the end of episode 0 that they were going to impart upon you 6 things that those seers know about the Adamant Expanse, or at least what they are willing to impart to you. So you're not walking in completely blind. All right? So what they generally tell you, and this is all before you're a group, is that you should not expect a realm that's teeming with civilization. The Adamant Expanse is an old land with old bones that speak of old glory. But now its peoples have contracted around the few holdings that dot the landscape, in both peril and beauty in equal measure, now truly rule the land. It is a realm that is firmly gripped within the coils of His Majesty, the Worm. All right, so here are the 6 things that they impart to you. All right, common known facts about the Adamant Expanse. Centuries ago, it was the oft-neglected northernmost outpost of the old empire. You all know of the empire. Your realms that you come from are probably once part of it. Number 2, its seat of power, both in the imperial age and now, is the walled city of Actopion on the shores of Lake Arnile. 3, it is ruled by a queen from a line established from the indigenous peoples that threw off the remnants of empire. Number 4, there is a rot of unknown origin within the courts, preventing proper rule. As a result, stories and tales of old, now proven to be true, stalk the land, imperiling civilization. Visions of the city have increased. True knights are needed. 5, the Seers' sanctums are hidden in remote corners of the realm. Seek them out to gain wisdom and answers to hard questions. The signs portend that those Seers are in immediate peril from an unknown threat. It is likely that in aiding them, you will be fulfilling all of your oaths simultaneously. Glory awaits. And 6, there are only 4 known holdings in and around which most of the population resides. They are scattered, but do have regular contact with each other. As the realm has contracted, petty rivalries and animosity among the holdings has increased. All right, so that's what they kind of let you know about this, the realm. All right, that's what you're kind of going in with.
Cool.
So if the last thing they tell you is if you're at a loss for where to go or what to do when you arrive in the realm, it may be wise to seek out a sanctum, which is where the Seers reside. Should the Seers be amenable, they can provide answers. Their precise locations are unknown, but you will be faced with a choice should you choose to seek their counsel. One or the other. You trek northeast into His Majesty's teeth, above the Worm Eternal's breath. The sun shines on rounded metal even as it is consumed by black rock under the wheeling heavens. Or trek southeast and follow a ribbon of lifeblood to the sea. A shimmering veil of riotous colors hides the iris of the world. All right, so very mysterious and very seer-like. Like, thanks a lot. Really helps. So that was many months ago. Yeah, you have traveled for many, many months over sea and land through a harsh winter, fraught with storms, grueling treks, and famine. The first signs of spring were revealed while you were still far off, and now with the land in full bloom of spring, you have finally entered the realm together. I'm going to switch over to Miro, and you guys are entering into this hex right here on the west.
That is quite far from both the northeast and the southeast. I've just noticed.
Well, there's always a northeast and a southeast.
Well,
right?
true, but we're
unless you're on a pole.
Mm-hmm.
Matt started on a pole, he'll end on a pole.
Okay, so first thing I want to establish is first you are entering into the realm. You can see that there is obviously there's more land off the map, right? So just kind of picture that you through various means, either traveling overland solo with your horse, perhaps by sea, by part of it, but eventually somewhere off the map you met up as a company, and you knew right away as like one, probably one, and then another person joined, and then another, that this was you just knew that these were the knights of your company, right? And you've all gotten to know each other, and you formed a tight bond due to the unbelievably harsh winter that you've just gone through. Right. Now it's not that's like winter just ended and now it's spring. The moment that you entered in the realm, it's been a slow transition. And as everything's now in the height of its beauty, with all the flowers in bloom, you are now entering into the realm, into this forested hex. The season is spring, which is known as the green season. You should be aware that in this game that there is only 3 seasons, right? So there's spring, harvest, and winter. The month is known as petals, and we are in the morning phase. If I can draw the viewer's attention to David's artwork, which I should have thanked him for at the beginning, at the top of the thing, that all of the beautiful artwork and layout and animation is done by our very own David. To the lower left-hand corner, you can see his awesome clock there, and we're going to switch it to morning time. There you go. All right, so let's see. All right, so it is morning time, and let's just give a little look-see over here. The colors are riotous in the forest today. There's a gentle, warm breeze that's sort of coasting through these trees, riffling the leaves, and it's quite beautiful. You are in a trackless wild, though, however, so you have to kind of you're likely leading your horses by walking, right, by the reins, and because it's a little hard to kind of pass through here. I give you the map sort of as a meta sort of thing. That, like, I don't think you would necessarily have a map, but you can feel free to like use it however you want. Just for the sake of things being mythic and legendary, you would know them when you are actually in the realm itself, right? So you kind of know, like, okay, now what, right? And you start to recall what the Seers have told you, and you have to decide, what do you do?
What do we?
It is my feeling, comrades, that we must present ourselves to the Queen immediately. Only by seeing her and seeing her court can we properly assess the rot that the Seers have told us about.
Makes sense. I support this idea.
What say you, Blood Knight? Or wait, you are the Blood Knight, right? No, you're the Iron Knight.
He already talked.
Makes the
Blood Knight who already did the talking. Yes, but please, Mirror, what do you say?
Sure.
You're also
He reflects my own idea.
If I'm honest, not to break the illusion, I say I'd love to hear those 2 myths one more time, so I can get a sense of our options there. But I think talking to the Queen first makes a lot of sense.
Well, and I say this because of the thing that the Seers read to us when we were accoladed.
Yes.
A queen empty of sight, once lauded, now a plight, on a carpeted throne all affray. In name only she reigns, for her knighted guard feigns to hold her best interests at heart. Those are the bastards I want to see.
Yeah.
All right. That makes sense to me.
And it seems like she is in the southeasterly direction from where we are. So
Right to the sea. Yeah.
John, I assume we more or less know where Ectopion is then, right?
Like I said, it's a meta thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would be my feeling. We would skirt this Lake Arnile and come upon the city of Ectopion, or castle, or whatever.
I think we have to see this queen for ourselves and judge whether or not she's worthy of her throne.
Ooh.
If she let the kingdom go so far astray.
Well, it sounds, if I recall correctly, it was an indigenous queen who won a rebellion. This is like item 3, right? The
local people overthrew the imperial long ago.
Yeah.
So presumably she is indigenous. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
okay, let's go.
I'm fine with that if we want to head that way.
And so to start off in the morning of our grand journey, John, keeping in mind our oaths, I'm going to take a knee and swing my sword still in its scabbard in front of my face, and I'm going to run my hand along it. And every morning I do this, and every morning there's like this thin layer of black soot that I kind of wipe clean. And as I do this with my hand, and I wipe this clean, this tableau on the scabbard of my sword reveals itself that changes every day. And it shows, at least according to my seer, it shows a hint about the location of the nearest myth to us. Because there may be myths. What does it say? A scene each morning hinting at the nearest myth. So not necessarily the location, but hinting at the nearest myth. Could be what it's about, where it is, what color it is,
geophysical coordinates,
the size of the myth, the taste.
Okay.
The one. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
So when you take a look at your scabbard, you see it form before your eyes as the sun's rays are glittering through the light canopy above you, highlights upon the scabbard, and you can see it form before your eyes the shape of what appears to be an abstract tower, crooked and teetering, and it stands solidly and menacingly amidst a sea of eyes. And those eyes are all averted from the Citadel as if in fear.
Okay.
Well,
it is very
disturbing.
clear.
Disturbing.
If you see the look, and you will see it very, very, very clear. I don't know.
It certainly looks worthy of our attention, of our swords.
Yeah, I guess.
As you're staring intently.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you. So this game will likely be something where I'm going to ask you for participation in some aspects of like the narrative and world building stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yes.
So with Sir Brunor, is this something that only he can see in the scabbard?
No, I think in that act of like wiping it clean, it's almost like a rubbing, like you're rubbing with all the stuff on top, and you're gonna wipe it clean to see what's still there. So yeah, I think that once he does that, it is visible for everybody to look at, and so he would, and they would have seen this obviously a few times before as they were traveling, knowing that this is not saying that this is necessarily real close by. It's just the nearest one.
Sure.
Right.
So what comes to mind in response to this, and I'm not trying to be obtuse, I'm learning as we all are, right? Seek the myths, honor the seers, protect the realm, right? This is sequential, right? What we've been if I parse it correctly, what we basically got from the first 6 hints, right? Northernmost outpost of an old empire. Thank you, Matt, for doing notes. Right, the seat of power is the walled city of Actopion. It's ruled by an indigenous queen who helped resist an empire, but the court is rotten, right? And they need someone who can be supportive of this queen. So it sounds like sort of not a Caesar-esque thing, but right, it's not the queen themselves necessarily that's implicated as a problem. Hence the initial poem that John gave. It's those around the queen. What you were talking about, Ted.
Yep.
But also seeking the Seers because they are in immediate peril is a high imperative. Mm-hmm. And what I'm asking, I'm not saying we should change our mind, but is if the myth isn't indicating we go to the town, but rather towards a seer prompt, right? That is sort of like at the top of the hierarchy of our ambitions to eventually protect the realm. That'd be component to the protection of it. That's my only question, And
well, my response to that would be, we have no way of knowing the origin of the peril against the Seers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We may learn that it's at the court, or we may learn about it from there. But I also do not expect to make it all the way to Actopion without encountering
something or other.
Something. If I meta Arthurian a little bit here, like you say, I shall find the Grail, and you head towards the Grail, and on the way you run into X, Y, and Z, and you must deal with them. And I assume that we will not make it so far as Actopion, which is whatever 7 or 8 hexes away, without a questing beast or a crooked tower covered in eyeballs or whatever will pop up, and we will learn more about the peril as we go.
I agree. I just want to make sure that the vector we're following is towards the myth that matches.
Let me repeat something quick, okay? Because I think we're going in circles here. All right.
Sure.
What I just told you before you ended in, what's the matter, Mike?
No, I'm nodding. I'm agreeing.
Okay. What they told you was, if you're at a loss for what to do, seek out the sanctum. Seek out the sancta. The Seers are in immediate danger. Trek north. So look at where you are on the map. Trek northeast into His Majesty's teeth, above the worm Eternal's breath.
Mountain range.
The sun shines on rounded metal, even as it is consumed by black rock under the wheeling heavens. Or trek southeast and follow a ribbon of lifeblood to the sea. A shimmering veil of riotous colors hides the iris of the world.
Perfect.
And that is in the direction of Actopion anyway. So we're
that clarifies my question. That makes a lot of sense. So let's pursue the southeasterly myth and the
en route to Actopion.
En route. That makes sense to me. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Sorry, I was just clarifying.
Okay, cool.
So towards that southeast hex is the direction we want to go.
Okay, the southeast hex with the large river there, right? Is where you're going to be going. Okay, so as you can see on both Miro and in the rule book, as far as hex travel goes, you can trek 1 hex on foot or steed. If you have a non-exhausted horse, you can travel 2 hexes by moving at a gallop, but the steed would then lose D6 vigor. Or if you're on a boat, or if you're on a road with a steed, you can actually go 3 hexes. Okay, now that's per phase. There are 3 phases in the day. So there is morning, which is sunrise to noon, afternoon, which is noon to sunset, and night, which is sunset to sunrise. We'll say it's morning right now. So you are going to, regardless of whether or not you're mounted or not, you're going to be traveling for the morning. I actually should ask, are you going to attempt to gallop?
No,
I don't think so yet. No.
I think this is a pretty springtime. We are knights bold and true, and we should enjoy the scenery and the view as we traipse along, and no sense in blowing our steeds before battle.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay, so you mount your steeds though, probably, and head towards the southeast, and you exit out of the forest after a number of hours, and you enter into a wide, beautiful, lush, fertile grassland, and it's so fertile because of this huge, wide, slow river which travels from the mountains behind you southwards towards the sea. And let's see here, give me 1 second.
I can visualize it.
Yeah, from the description, it also sounds like something that would be easy enough to cross on horseback. If it's a wide, slow river, those usually aren't exceedingly deep. So, either riding the horse across in a shallows, or, even like leading them if it gets a little too deep.
Yeah, for sure.
We look for the ford that probably was once here, although no longer manned or guarded, but surely there'll be a road marker or old post of a ferry or something to guide us to a suitable ford.
So there doesn't look to be too many signs of civilization at all here. It all seems like a vast open wilderness here as you approach the banks of this huge river. And it looks like you can't, it's really, really wide. Like kind of picture the Mississippi, for instance. It's unless you find a ferry, there is no way across, or some sort of bridge or a ford or something like that. But you look and your eye line can go like really far, like miles to either side, like north and south and east. You can't see anything. However, when you look north and you're looking for some sort of ford or ferry, something like that, way off in the distance, high up, beyond the mountains, it must be like an interminable distance. In fact, you're not even sure like why you're actually seeing it, because you could have sworn you were taking in your surroundings as you were walking. You see a faint silhouette on the horizon to the north, beyond the mountains, right? Like over the mountains and beyond to the north.
Like more than a hex away kind of thing?
Way more than a hex away. And it's just,
okay.
It's almost like, I don't know how we're actually seeing this. Is this a mirage? It's like shaking on the horizon. It's got waves like beyond the mountains itself. And you actually mistake it for like the faint outline of a mountain until you actually realize what you think you're looking at, which is that the same tower, the same structure that I saw on Sir Brunor's scabbard? And it's just like the faintest, haziest outline to the north.
I hold up my scabbard like Rey does in that awful Star Wars movie, and perfectly align it to see if the towers actually kind of match up.
You think it might be your mind wanting it to match up because it's very abstract on your scabbard, but you can definitely make a case for it. That is for sure.
It is. It is the nearest, but not close. Not close.
At the same time, you feel, and it kind of makes your steeds actually lift up their legs a little bit and wicker a little bit. There are a number of small salamander newt sort of amphibians that are like running through the rushes at their feet. And they're slipping and they're kind of cute. They kind of run through the rushes, and some of them actually hang on to the heavier blades of grass and sway on them, kind of peering at you. And then they kind of hop off. Most of them are like a shining black with a little bit of red on them as well.
Ooh, I like that.
Scurrying randomly, or do they appear to be fleeing something?
They need to be scurrying randomly.
Okay.
And these are like salamanders that are like a couple inches, not like salamanders.
No, not like scary. Yeah.
Okay.
Cute little amphibians, yeah.
Presumably, we could follow the western bank of this river to the southeast, and eventually find a crossing space, or we follow the western bank, sort of up around that hook up to the north, and try and cross it, where it comes out of the mountains, and presumably it's going to be faster but narrower.
Yeah, or like, if we go that way, we're up by that myth. Perhaps we could get a closer look and see if it's in the realm. But as far as we can see, there's no way to cross this.
I think the organic procedure then is to go northerly, like Ted said. Cross.
Well, if we go south, there's a possibility of a fisher boat or something to take us across the river, or another ferry and another hex.
Also, the possibility of nothing at all.
Yep.
And we are still where we are.
I don't know what to do.
I say we go north. I like the option of going north. I like going towards something that we can see. Perhaps it is a lie. Perhaps it is the truth. Who knows? But it is this way. and our goal is still to the southeast, but it seems to be the best way to get across this untenable river.
Well, and I agree. And also the imperative is seek the myths, right? So the closest myth is the closest imperative to what the demand of the Seers is.
Check the realm is an equal imperative. I don't think those are listed in numerical order. I think they're all equal.
It is always a struggle between the three, but we take what we have in hand, I think.
Sure.
Okay. So you're heading to the northeast then, correct? You're not going back the way you came. Well, sort of you are, but for a little bit. But then you're going to actually head into the mountains.
Yeah.
Trying to find the river's source, basically, and go around it and come around the other side.
I think the idea is follow along the path of the river and see if we find a ford or a bridge or something like that.
And if we don't, we just keep going until we hit the tower.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So you start to follow the river around towards the north, and it narrows slowly as the hours pass by, as the afternoon kind of unfolds, but not enough to actually be able to ford it, that you can see anyways. And there's no sign of a bridge or anything like that. And the ground steeply starts to rise as quickly as the way you're facing, the mountains sort of loom up before you. And you're reminded again of the other suggestion, which was to go into His Majesty's teeth, which appears to be before you, right?
Any sign of game trails, John, or evidence of like hunters or anything like that?
There are natural game trails, but not ones that appear that hunters have used. Like you don't see any footprints of anyone around here. This appears to be a relatively little populated area. Okay, so you started your journey along the northern river right about noontime. So now you're in the second phase of the day. Okay, you don't find any sort of suitable crossing before the river comes crashing out of the mountains. So it looks like if you want to continue into that hex, the mountain hex, you will have to actually go into the mountains. Are you okay with that?
Sure.
I think it looks grand. Yes.
I think at this point, it's the only option, because to turn around and say, "Oh, this is lame," and walk back to the coast is not very knightly.
Okay, so you start to march up into these very, very high, rugged-looking mountains, and always with the river to your right, and it's it's either rapids or it kind of crashes over a number of different kinds of waterfalls and things like that as it comes crashing out of the mountain. The temperature drops significantly, and it looks like you're going to be going beyond the tree line in this hex. And as you do so, you encounter every once in a while, and it makes your horses very not happy, is you see these. What's that?
Well, I just want to point out that I have a mountain steed, John, who is sure-footed on rocky ground.
Oh, cool. All right.
You'll ride his horse.
That's actually good to know. It wasn't what I was saying your horses were getting skittish about,
okay.
but yours
But
is
now
definitely,
ours are going to fall. Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably much more likely then that perhaps Aurelius's steed is the one that Aurelius may be the only one mounted, because it's the only mount that could be trusted.
Ours,
yeah. You strike a striking figure there, Sir Aurelius, as you take the lead. But the reason that all of your horses start to get a little skittish is because you see a number of times that there are these beautiful, sleek, spotted mountain cats that seem to be resting on like rocks, like high off, like a ridge or something like that, kind of sun baking in the sun, prowling around, and they hiss at you from a large distance and kind of sneak back into their caves every once in a while as you mount into the as you continue upwards into the mountains. Eventually, when the sun is setting in the west and you fear for any passage at all to be able to kind of come around to the other side, you find by the setting sun that there is a beautiful. Let's see, how would you come across this? There is no. You're beyond the tree line right now. There does not appear to be anything that's particularly like vegetative or of any sort around here, but you come across a ridge, and the sun is shining down upon a massive hole in the ground a natural hole, huge, many meters wide radius, and completely exposed to the sky. And you can hear you've left like the river like a long time ago, basically, but you can hear the trickle of water, the rushing of water down in that cavern below. You have yet to approach it, but but you can kind of see it in front of you. It looks like the rock has sort of either caved in here, or it's like a natural cavern that goes down.
Does it look like a sinkhole, John, which tend to be like more round, or does it look like a cavern, like a crack in the earth?
More like a sinkhole.
Okay.
As if the water has worn away and travels underground briefly, so we could perhaps cross here.
You might be able to, yeah. As I said, like you just noticed that there's like this weird natural anomaly like high in the mountains. You have yet to really approach it.
I'm gonna hop off my horse Tariv and just kind of like hand the reins to one of the other guys, and I will stalk my way over to the edge of the abyss and look down into it and see if there's any sign of a path or a rope or anything like that that's already there.
All right, so Sir Malachi, when you lean over the edge to kind of take a look, you are astounded by what you see, for it's a thing of unbelievable natural beauty. It is a lush Doline cavern. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Doline. Have you ever heard of this?
I haven't heard of that one. No.
I'm not smart.
So the sun is, I guess it's westering, but we'll say it like actually kind of illuminates at least part of it, like with like a shaft down into like this dark cavern. But where it illuminates, and you can see that it must be the entire cavern that's even out of this sunlight, is a lush, teeming microenvironment of vegetation and greenery within this hole that's underground. Right? These actually occur in the real world. You've probably seen pictures, right?
I've seen pictures,
yeah. And the sun has formed like a concentrated beam down in this secret cavern, and it's illuminating this stunningly beautiful underground vista. And there is a perfectly clear pool of transparent water that rests in the center of it, likely in the dark at this point.
Metal under black rock.
Well, Malachi, do you see a route down into this beautiful place?
I don't, right, John?
There are many vines actually that hang over the edge.
And
for horses.
Not for horses, unfortunately.
My horse's special ability is the Tarzan-like swing on vines.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
How deep is it, John? Like how far down to the water?
Like really far, like at least
hundreds of feet.
I don't know 100, but let's call it like 100.
I turn around to my companions and I say, no way for the beasts. However, doughty knights of strong climbing ability can make their way down on the vines and explore this mythic cave.
I hesitate to leave behind the beasts with the cats about.
It is also
surely
like
there must be a way down.
You would not be able to travel much further without danger. Like you would be traveling on the third phase, which you can do it, and there are rules for it, but it doesn't. There is a lot of complications.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The pool of water at the center of this great aperture in the mountains. Yes, light shines upon it. I assume that I can get no sense of its depth from our height, but I could grab a rather sizable rock and throw it down. Yes.
Yeah.
Why don't I do that? Good.
No, I was just going to say, if it is like this, like peaceful, beautiful place, like this, like almost like, I don't know, magical, like sanctuary, dropping rocks on it from above might not be the most like couth way to handle the whole thing.
I'll put it this way. I have a vigor of 6 and I will fall to my death if I try to climb. I don't think many of us have a higher vigor. Jumping into the water could also be an immediate death, but using meta dungeoneering logic, I'm just wondering if we
might be able to climb down the vines is what John was saying.
Yeah,
I understand.
I'm sure we could. I'm just concerned about the big cats leaving our horses here. John, is there perhaps an obvious shelter up here where we could spend the night?
There are a number of like different like overhangs and shelves and boulders and things like that you could probably, it would probably wouldn't be the greatest night's sleep, but you could certainly do it.
I would propose that we take our night to rest our horses, to also give us time to assess the danger that these creatures may or may not pose, right? To see if they come out at night. I know a lot of cats are more active at night, so this is a thing. So I propose we camp here, we rest, we get the scents. Perhaps we will get more information in the morning, and we will be able to go down and back up before these cats awake and start wanting horse flesh.
I think we spend the night and try and explore in the morning. Yes.
Okay.
All right. So you set up camp near the edge of this Dolene cavern, and the night sky, the sun sets and the stars wheel in the heavens above you as you fall asleep and take watches, I assume.
Indeed.
Okay, one sec. Okay.
That's awesome.
All right. So
I like this phase thing, John.
You so just so you're aware, in this game there's we don't have to, again, no resource management, so we're not tracking rations. You have rations, you have food, things like that, but it's just assumed that you can unless you're in seriously deprived environments, then it's you're not going to have to worry about it. Although this environment's not hostile, we'll put it that way, but it's bordering there. Just be aware that you're pushing it here, right? It's not great, but it is springtime, and so it's not that bad. So, and the snows have all melted. So you wake up and you're not feeling great. Your horses are a little bit irritated, but you pack up your stuff and have your morning meal, and then the Dolene Cavern is before you. You also know too that this is very likely the source of that great river. Mm-hmm. So you could continue on from here if you wanted to, to wherever you could, in other words, probably descend out of the mountains in the direction that you wanted to go.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think nobody wants to go without having a look at this cavern, though, right?
What honor is there in leaving something so amazing unexplored? But before we do, I will do my morning ritual to my celebrated seer. I will take out my scabbard and wipe off the soot again, revealing a new image for the day.
And I will lean over his shoulder with my hot cup of coffee and see what he's doing.
That is a little bit oppressed. Just give me some space to work. I would appreciate it. Thank you.
There is it looks like on the scabbard that the tower itself has not changed in form, but the eyes now are all closed. All right. And there's only one weird image engraved on the scabbard that is new, and you barely catch it. Small, but right near the top of the tower appears to be a stylized object, a celestial thing that is falling from the sky.
Like a comet kind of looking thing.
See, that's what I like about this scabbard. Every day you get a little hint, little more things to look for.
And it keeps your sword in it.
This is true. You saves many fingers. Yes,
that's right. So, do we see any cats about, John? Do we smell them on the wind, or have we heard their howls all night long?
You did. I would say you probably did hear their howling at night, and you definitely had to set guard, and you could see their eyes at night outside the firelight. Patrolling around. That's probably the reason the horses didn't have a great night's sleep. But the fire and your presence, strength in arms and all that kind of stuff kept them away.
Gentlemen, why don't you man camp while I climb down some vines and see what's below?
Sure. Someone's got to go first. Let's make it the mirror night.
I will descend some vines, John, towards the great pool below, reflecting the sky.
I am not the perhaps the strongest, but I for one pitched going in this direction. I feel like this is calling to me as well. I will go with you, my friend.
So Meridian, as you approach the lip and you take a look at those vines and you kind of test their weight, and you look at the teetering, the vertigo hits you as you sort of look over the edge, and you have to honestly assess your own ability to cling to that vine and shimmy all the way down.
Listen, vigor 6.
In mechanical terms, to telegraph the danger here, this will require a vigor roll from all of you. And now, in this game too, not all failures are necessarily just a straight binary. It could be that you can accomplish your task, but there's a further complication. But just to be aware that, you know, this is a vigor roll, and so it's not like you can, if you fail, like nothing bad happens, something bad will happen. But yeah.
I do also note that, you know, as prepared knights on a quest, we do all have rope as well. We don't need to be completely dependent upon these vines. So if we combine all our links of rope together to make one safety, right, that the rest of us hold, the person can climb down, and so there's this, you know, there is a safety.
You could lower me. Yeah, you could lower me. I don't even need to touch the vines if we have enough rope.
I mean, the combined rope of all of us should be fairly sufficient, I would think. And if not, we can just leave you down there forever.
Like
I'll roll a vigor roll and go for it. Why not? Give me a tether.
Rope. It's a good idea.
No, I agree. I'm saying give me a tether. But I still have to roll, I assume. Right, John?
We have 4 horses that can hold the rope and lower it and raise it. So we can literally tie the rope to the saddle horn, cowboy style. You lower yourself, but then they can always pull you back up. We don't have to do that. So let's just say 2 lengths of rope is enough, because it's
even this is too much like old school OSR.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So we take rope and we will secure him. I say we climb, but then the rope is there as a safety if you need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you attempt to shimmy down. Again, you don't have anything. It's just the rope. This is an open hole that goes straight down the middle of the cavern, right? Sure. There's no like bracing yourself against a rock wall or anything like that. You understand? So this is like arm strength.
Yeah.
All right. Now, I know that Cimeridian, for instance, is not wearing armor. The rest of you are. Are you going to wear your armor on this climb down?
Well, that's you, Iron Knight.
What do I have?
I'm wearing more armor than anyone, I think.
Yeah. I have mail and plate pauldrons. Yeah, it only makes sense. What a brave knight would do is remove that armor to give himself the best shot down there.
Okay.
I'm wearing a helm, mail, and brutal plate, which I assume just means
that's 500 pounds.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's kind of part of like my whole identity, right? Like it's taking off your underwear and going down there.
I do that too. My underwear is very, very heavy.
All right. You guys go. I'll guard the horses. Unless, that's lame. I'll take off my armor, John, and go.
Okay. So you take a little while to take off your armor. It is a thing to do that. And you one at a time try to go down there. All right. So I need vigor rolls from all of you. This is going to be, so vigor is just any save for your 3 virtues is a 20-sided, and you're trying to hit the number or lower is a success.
I rolled a 3.
I rolled a 12. I failed.
Okay. Ooh, I was so close. So as Sir Brunor takes off his armor, you've seen little hints of this the whole time, but his sword arm looks terrible. It's scarred from shoulder to hand. It's usable. You've seen him use it. It does move, but it has been on the surface like severely injured or burned. It's kind of difficult to tell at some point. But it partially explains how he fails his vigor roll with an 8 over a 5.
Okay.
John, I'm not actually going in the hole. Someone's got to guard the horses and lower the third person down with the rope and so on. So I guess I'm staying up here.
Okay.
Unless there's a real meta reason for me to not do that, and then I'll roll.
Yeah.
Well, is it more of a question of just like the theme of the campaign? Like, is it
Exactly, that's what I mean.
is it too nitty gritty, like OSRE to like be, I'm going to post a guard, or should we just throw caution to the wind and just kind of do our thing? I don't know.
I don't know either. I mean, if you feel like you need to guard the horses, you should guard the horses.
Okay.
Well, I was sort of imagining I would, be here with the horses and then work. Once they're down there, I wanted to work my way up to the sort of higher lip of the of the cavern and see if I can sort of see down in and work out how to walk around to the other side. And
you could do that.
Find a sunny spot and pray.
Right. Okay. Okay. So here's what I'm going to say happens. Then we're going to take our first break. Let's see. It was Sir Malachi, the Bloody Knight. We'll say you go down first because you actually succeeded, and you shimmy down this vine, and without much of an issue. It takes you a little while, and you do it. We have a classic Monty Python situation here where like Sir Meridian and Sir Brunor are much like Sir Robin. They're like, that's easy. and they grab they're like, oh, it's definitely strong enough. If Sir Malachi, he was a strong man. What's your vigor, Malachi? 11. Okay, not bad. Yeah, if they can hold Malachi's weight, then they can certainly hold ours. And you unwisely decide to shimmy down together, like one after the other on the vine. You manage to get down. However, the combined weight of both of you as you drop down to the bottom at the very last second, as you drop down to the floor of the cavern to meet Sir Malachi, you hear a wrenching, and the vine comes tumbling down upon you.
Oh.
And you look back up to the hole, and you just see way up at the top on a ledge. Yeah, you see Sir Aurelius down there.
Cross-legged, wings catching the sunlight, sword in his lap, praying.
Right. Okay.
For your success, obviously.
Obviously. So
we'll like a meteorite.
We'll take a break there, and we'll see what they do when we come back. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Bladders empty, beers full. All right, so I'd forgotten that they actually had a rope attached to them, so not that big of a predicament as well. And if anyone is confused, you did not fall off the vine. You got down, then the vine snapped and prevented you from going back up. But then I forgot that you actually were smart enough to wrap rope around yourselves, so you still have rope that leads back up. Right. Okay, so you're down here. You're down on the bottom. You're quite near the font itself. Now you are surrounded by like teeming vegetation. It's quite beautiful. It's humid. There's like a haze in the air. There are lots of insects and weird little creatures that are flying around and skittering about through the underbrush. And it goes back into the darkness, right? Like it's just like there seems to be like an underdark under here. As the sun is rising, it's shooting down a ray that is illuminating the font, and you can see that just at the edge, in the twinkling dust motes around, with all these sort of mosquitoes and bugs that are kind of floating within the air in the sunlight itself, just on the edge, you can see that there are looks to be skeletal feet, some feet away across the font itself. They go back into like its legs kind of go back into the darkness.
So this is across the little pool.
Correct,
or the big pool.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Roughly how far away is that? And is there a way around to get it?
Like I said, this is like a font that sort of comes out of the rock. So it's very, it's very peaceful. Like it's, very much like a sanctum of sorts. And it's you could just approach it. It's not hard to get to.
I will approach it, John.
Yeah.
Okay, so it appears to be a skeleton that is dressed. It's resting against a rock, as if it was taking a rest here, and it has old mail rusted upon its decomposed form, and a mail helm, not a steel helm on its head, jaws sort of askew, cobwebs draping out of its mouth, and a rickety arm is clasping a thoroughly rusted through blade as well. A rotted wooden shield lies like a couple feet away from it, hewn down the middle. It has tatters of a surcoat with its heraldry faded away. Most of its heraldry faded away, and it looks like the similar heraldry was painted upon the shield itself, also faded, and that appears to be a rearing horse.
Okay.
But that wouldn't jive with us at all. That wouldn't ring, because this is a realm that we don't know anything about.
That's correct, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Does he have any documents? Does he have any, if I examine his person and all, does he have any like specific things beyond that, John? Looking for more information.
No. Are you just peering at it?
No, I go over and I will respectfully place hands upon this figure, trying to figure out not only does he have anything else on him, but like what if I can determine what happened to him.
Right. So as you approach him and attempt to even gently kind of go over him, the skeleton crumbles almost entirely into dust, and the head snaps off of the vertebrae and rolls onto the ground and peers up at you balefully.
Oh. I pick up the skull. I look in the eye sockets. Sir Knight, it seems like you have met an untimely fate. I am sorry, sir. And I'll like place the head kind of back near its body, and I'll again I look around. Is there any kind of sense of what could have caused this? Maybe he fell. Is the armor damaged? Like something was stabbed him, or can I see anything like that?
His shield is riven, for one thing. His surcoat is too decomposed to determine if there was any damage done to that or not. And the armor is too rusted as well to sort of determine. But he was lying relatively in repose.
Uh-huh.
So it may have been that he was perhaps mortally wounded and found his way here, for one thing.
Did he seem extremely thin? Did he starve to death?
Very difficult to tell.
I check his teeth,
Boy, is it hard to
John.
tell.
Is there any stuff that's stuck in between? No, I'm very interested in giving this guy some honor in this death, like laying him to rest in this place. But I'm also kind of aware of, perhaps there were some dangers here that befell him that caused this fate. So I'm going to start looking around for loose stones, things that I can make like a little beer, a little funeral pile of him to like bury his body.
Iron, I think, is probably the.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will take that.
Sure,
but yeah, I'll start looking around and gathering stones to kind of like,
one thing I'll say is, and I don't really know how to describe it nitty gritty wise, but the style, it's obviously an old skeleton. The style of his dress and clothes and mail and sword and everything that speaks of a much earlier age, likely the age of Empire.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So centuries he could have been down here.
Are there any tracks here, John? Any sign of like old blood splashed on a stone or anything like that?
No, but what you do see is that there is, if you're looking around, Sir Malachi, you don't see any blood or anything like that. But what you do see is that what you first mistook to be natural passageways and trails actually look to be something that was carved by human hands. And it appears to be paths that sort of skirt around the edge of the cavern. And then when you kind of follow them a little bit, you notice that, it's actually like a hidden ledge that wraps around the Doline.
I will start going up that ledge.
Okay. It's extremely dangerous. And as you kind of ascend, you can see that the vertigo starts to hit again, but the problem is because it's like a Doline, it's almost like a natural dome.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you have to cling to the walls, and the walls are sort of always sort of over your head a little bit. Pushing you off. So it's like very disconcerting as you go. And But there always seems to be a foothold along the way, but you have to be very careful with how you sort of shuffle along the wall. But it looks like if you keep going, it will likely, probably take a couple hours to get up to the top.
Oh.
Don't you think that before we do that, we should at least explore these waters?
Sure.
This is going to take me a little bit of time.
I just thought it was going to go to a layer or something, Matt. I didn't think it was going to. Okay. I'm not going to walk all the way out.
So the waters themselves, it's relatively small. It's a mountain spring, right, with hidden in the depths of this Stoling cavern. So it's perfectly crystal clear, absolutely transparent. There doesn't seem to be anything living in there, and it's there's somewhere from deep below in the roots of the mountain there is it's bubbling out, right. And
John,
there's I should say, I mean, this is it's not a freestanding pool. I should say it runs right deep into the dark recesses of the cavern, and you assume would somewhere underground forms the running water of this river.
Yeah, John, I think as a nice final like gift or blessing of this guy who gave his life, I'm gonna reach into that water. I'm gonna like grab a few handfuls of this pristine water. I'll smell it and give a little taste to make sure that it doesn't seem like poisoned or fouled or anything.
No, it's cool and crisp and clean. Tastes fantastic. Okay,
yeah, I'll have a few drinks, but then I'll bring some of that water over and I'll kind of like sprinkle it on his head, sprinkle it on his what's left of his chest to kind of give him like a final little bit of refreshment and honor before he gets back to his napping.
Okay, cool. Done and done. And what do you guys do from there? Well, let's move up to Sir Aurelius. What are you doing up top there?
Well, so Aurelius is looking for, as I said, the path or route to cross around this hole and to be able to descend or continue into the hills, looking for that tower or going back down towards the plains. And in the hunting for that route, if there is possibly some other opening or cave that might lead down into the cave below, he'd be on the lookout for that. And depending on how long those guys are down there, having found what he seeks, he will sit and enjoy the sun and contemplate on mortality.
Okay, cool. So you don't find an alternate way down into the cavern itself. However, what you do see is that towards the east, you see a number. I should say, I think there would be a number of approaches that lead safely down out of the mountains, both towards the east and the southeast. It looks actually in most directions, it looks like you could probably. Let me just check here real quick. Sorry. Let's see. You can see a number of paths that lead down safely out of the mountains. Some of them look natural. All of them look natural, but it's likely, based upon what you're hearing from your friends down below, that a lot of them that could be used as approaches to this area by human traffic, for one thing. Okay. One thing you do see, though, because you have a broad view now, because you're on this ridge that overlooks the Doling Cavern, you can see across the land like really far, right? Is that the peaks are highest directly to the west, and they look completely impassable. So heading back into the forest from where you are right now looks almost impossible unless you can find some sort of secret route. Otherwise, you're going deeper into the mountains, or you're either going into like foothills, basically.
Right. So, do I see a clear route deeper into the mountains to what I assume would be the northeast from this hex?
Yes, you do. But it's in that way you would almost be continuing to ascend. There is a clear route. Yeah, but you would not be going out of the mountains. You'd be going deeper.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the route that we saw. The vision, the mirage.
In that general direction, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got an idea of where we can go. So yeah, I will. I don't find any other caves and I don't see any other anomalies or anyone, a company of armed men riding on the plains in the distance or anything like that?
No, you do not. Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's a little too hazy to see that far. I think though this is like a good. I can kind of visualize you up there, in a 360 degree sort of, looking at you standing on top of this rock. Why don't you give us an idea of what Sir Aurelius the Dove Knight actually is bringing to the table here, appearance wise?
Oh, okay. Let me find where I. Oh, well, there it is. Had it all queued up and lost it on my screen. Okay, so Sir Aurelius wears a white gambeson stitched in black thread, with gray hose and black leather shoes. His scaled armor is polished bright, with brass rivet caps and buckles, and has light gray picadilles at the sleeves and at the thighs. He wears a length of white cloth wrapped around his waist, over which his black leather and brass sword belt is buckled. His blade, a heavy and plain weapon with a well-worn grip and the evidence of many years of use, rides in a white scabbard of the softest doe skin. From his back, rising high above his head, are a pair of wings cunningly fashioned in polished steel feathers to appear as if they are real wings. They seem to open as if to take flight as he rides. For a helm, Sir Aurelius wears a wide-brimmed sallet, often propped up on his forehead. He is narrow-faced, with a long nose and wide gray eyes. He has hair so blonde as to be almost white, and wears a long mustache that hangs below his clean-shaven chin. So I would say that overall the effect is sort of a combination of a medieval and a Polish hussar with that Polish mustache, right, and the big hussar wings that those guys had, scale armor, but it's all much more medieval style. And then incongruously, his mountain steed, Big Spruce, a mountain breed of horse, shaggy hair and wide hooves. He is patient and plodding, but he builds tension like an avalanche until he bursts forth in battle. Big Spruce is fond of oats and long walks and crushing the heads of those who would harm the realm under his iron shoes.
Nice. Very cool. I love the hussar sort of vibe there with the way you interpreted the winged armor, which is really cool. Right, and we have to remember that you sink like a stone in that armor, however. Yeah,
I can totally see that. It's one of the reasons I decided not to go down the fight.
Into the pool of drowning?
End up in the water, I'm done.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you are striking quite a pose there on top of that high ridge looking out over the land.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, deep into the Doline Caverns, what do the rest of you guys do?
I've been kind of busy, trying to honor this night, which seems, at least to me, kind of the reason why we were called here. This guy is, down here without any, care taken to him in his final regards. So, yeah, providing honor to him is kind of my vibe as I place these stones and kind of drop the clear water on him, giving him his last drink.
Okay. So probably a good place for Sue Bruno. What exactly do you look like as you do this? Okay,
so go figure. The Iron Knight has a little bit of a goth vibe. He's got this black hair that it's very difficult to read the texture of because it's so dark and doesn't, like most hair, like catch the little reflections of light that bounce off of it. It's just got this matte feel to it that when you look at it, it gives off this vibe of being like very wet, but without that water, that wet sheen that comes along with it. And he tends, while traveling, to wear like this hood that's very close to his face. His skin is very pale, and his eyes are deep set. He has a dark black beard, and it's kind of that same like mysterious matte texture of the hair. What this does is it kind of has like this effect in the dark and in the moonlight with his pale skin and this dark outline. He kind of looks like a skull, a living skull as he rides, especially with his black cloak, his black dark mail that also seems to just give off no reflection to light. In the daylight, his cloak is kind of like a velveteen texture, and the nap in one direction gives like this really deep dark red, but in the other kind of more natural direction of it, it just gives us this matte black texture. Overall, very, very dark figure. And his horse, named Hope, doesn't do much to distinguish that or contrast it at all. This is almost like that purest black that they have, that paint that doesn't reflect any light, so it kind of like swallows all of the light that shines on it. So much so that when he is on this horse and coming at you from a distance, he does that little kind of optical illusion thing where you can't tell if the horse is coming towards you or away from you, because it's all just in silhouette. And the other thing that I'll mention is, his right arm, his primary sword arm, is somewhat hindered in its movement, and you guys have all seen that it is burned and badly damaged from like shoulder to the tip of his fingers.
Cool, love it. All right. So what are you guys planning to do down there?
Well, I want to get the hell out as soon as I finish doing this. Like, there didn't seem much with the water. He tasted it, seemed fine. So I'm fine with trying to inch up around the edge, but I don't know what you guys, if there's anything else you want to.
I've discovered the ledge, but you've been, praying to the night. So I want to hear what David's got going on.
I don't have any great additions. It seems like we've explored most of the information in here, so I can follow y'all's lead if you have any ideas.
Is there anything in the pool? Is there any like still areas?
No,
in
it's
the pool
crystal clear. Yeah.
Okay.
So out.
All right.
I would exit.
As the water flows away, there's a tunnel it goes into.
Yeah, it flows. It goes deep into the caverns, as I said. Yeah.
You can't shine any light in there. Maybe it's something glittering, or
it appears.
Anybody have anything like reflective to shine, or it doesn't seem like it goes. I mean,
your night must have something. We could direct some light.
So it appears to be a natural thing. It's a place of great beauty, but it doesn't appear to be anything that's untoward. Relatively, it's just like stunningly beautiful. Mechanically, if you the only reason I didn't mention it when you arrived is because you're full up. Is that if you spend a phase here in this place of great beauty, that you can actually restore your spirit here, as if you were indulging your passion.
So it feels good. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If I didn't get that across, it's quite pleasant here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Until you die down there.
That's worth remembering if we ever need that kind of healing,
Yeah.
Okay. So you all emerge out of the Doling Cavern, and you rejoin Sir Aurelius up there, probably informing what happened up there. Or Sir Aurelius, you tell them what you saw, what you decided to do. So what I'm going to say is you basically did some exploring down there. I'm going to say that took a phase of the day, relatively, like a kind of figuring thing out as
morning phase.
Sure. Yeah, so that's the morning phase. So you have, unless you want to travel at night in the mountains with wild cats, you have one phase left to go.
Okay, and so Dove Night, you found 2 different ways to go.
Well, 3 almost in a sense. 4. We could go back the way we came. I don't think this is good. We could go deeper, more higher and deeper into the mountains, or we could head into the foothills to the west, or the plains to foothills to the east, or the plains to the southeast. There's multiple routes down. I have to say, having come this far, I think we should go up into the mountains.
That was not what I thought you were going to say, but I can't argue with this. I like it. I like it a lot.
It seems to me that this tower is at the tip, almost if we could reach out, and to walk away would be. It lacks heart.
I agree.
So, is everyone? Are all my brothers in agreement?
Yes,
Here.
I will mount up Big Spruce and lead the way up the path that I found, John.
Okay, very good. So you take off in the afternoon. The sky today is filled with a glittering a glittering haze, and there's cool clouds that sort of scutter across your vision. Cool breezes as well. And you make your way to the northeast, deeper and deeper into the mountains. As you do so, probably about mid-afternoon or so, snow begins to fall at this height. Not heavy. Light is actually sort of pleasant here, but you soon find yourself trudging in a light, crunchy snow through the paths, and you have to kind of really take your time to step carefully, except for big spruce.
Well, what I was about to actually ask John is there a way to adjust my wings so that they kind of cover me up from the snow and I can shield myself from rain and sun and things like that?
I think that might be a bridge too far there.
Oh.
Every time I gotta say, every time you mention like you with these wings, I visualize like that Juliet costume from the '90s remake. Remember, she had like these little wings.
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, those were a little shrimpy, I think.
With Claire Danes and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah, that's what yours.
You
look
should
like
not imagine those because you should be imagining more like a Polish hussar.
No, I like the Juliet.
You'd be wrong.
Tiny wings. Because
I don't tell you how to imagine your character.
I'm just telling you how I get to imagine you all the time.
Okay, fine.
I'm doing it right now.
Okay, so as the afternoon wears on, the snow starts to pick up, and it's starting to get pretty bad. Not like Red Horn Pass bad, but it's becoming vision is starting to become a problem, and it's like the path forward looks pretty rough. And the sun is falling as well. Everything's obscured, of course, because of the snow. So it's looking like you either have to you can try to turn around, but or you can try to find some camp here if you like. But travel further looks to be quite dangerous. You might have to roll on a bad table.
Ooh, we don't like bad tables. I would vote for making a camp here and seeing if the weather, cooperates better tomorrow.
Sure. That makes sense.
Are you suggesting that the weather is such that we cannot travel a full phase, John?
That's correct. Yeah. You might actually get lost too.
All right. Well, discretion is ever the better part of valor. So I think a campsite and shelter is perfectly reasonable. How is the sheltering around here? Can we find a cave or an overhang or at least something out of the wind?
Why don't we make a roll here? Where is that? Give me 1 second. Yeah, the Whims of Fate, a luck roll.
Ooh.
Let's see.
Luck has never been our strong point.
Well, it looks like the spirits are with you. The worm has decided to take mercy upon you and accepts you into its warm coils as you find, lo and behold, what looks to be an abandoned mountain cat lair deep within, tucked away beyond the snow. And there are some bones of previous meals long cast aside, long ago gnawed upon. But other than that, it is cold comfort, but it is out of the snow.
John, I want to, as the sun is setting, just trying to heed the clue that I got on my scabbard earlier in the morning. I want to keep an eye on the sky to see if I note any kind of like comet or shooting star or anything kind of like interesting, any portents in the sky.
Right. So I would say like after you set up camp, and you bed down and you kind of peer out, the snow starts to lift a little bit in the middle of the night, and the clouds part. And as they do so, well, I should say this is deep in the night. Let's say, Sir Brunar, that you had like you wake up in the middle of the night. You want to take a look. Like
anyway, right?
You can't get the idea of that celestial thing out of your head. So you take a look up at the clear sky, and you don't see a sign of anything falling. But what you do see takes your breath away, because you see what looks to be almost straight pillars of blue luminescent light that sort of illuminate the entire sky, shimmering in the night sky.
Cool.
Is there directionality to these that
they appear to be generally in the north, but they dominate the sky, like from like the horizon all the way up into the wheeling dome of the heavens.
Okay.
That Northern Lights thing?
Very much like a Northern Lights thing, but much more geometric in shape almost. Yeah.
Okay, so this this is described as a thing of beauty, and I'm going to take this as a thing that brings him joy, which he doesn't express, but he makes this gesture where he puts his hand in front of his face while he's feeling this this joy and this beauty, and then he just like puts the hand away. This is a gesture of like giving his joy back to his seer.
Okay, I love it. Yeah, that's very cool.
Right.
As you do that little ritual, Sir Brunor, and you turn back to the cavern, the light imprint on your, like the back of your eyes, sort of thing. Those pillars, for a second, as you sort of blink away the light, take on the appearance of as if those pillars sort of separated into a multitude of pillars of differing heights, almost like a city.
Ooh.
Oh, a vision of the city. Outstanding.
They did say they were becoming more common in this realm.
Yeah. Does this seem like
true,
the vision of a city, John, or the city?
You don't know. You don't know how to interpret it. It was just, it was just like a flash in your head, when you stare at something bright. And
and you close your eyes, you get the reverse.
Yeah. So that you're pretty sure it was just the pillars, but perhaps you're reading too far into it because everyone's had visions of the city at one point since your knights, and maybe that's just what you're interpreting it as, but it sure seemed like it.
Yeah. Well, in the morning, yes, everyone is awakened to see the to hear the tale of a sign that we are on the true path, and we are doing as we should. This is good. This is true.
Okay, so the morning brings clear weather, cold, very, very cold, and there is a substantial amount of snowfall on the ground, not enough to impede your horses overly much. Maybe if you were on foot. Even if you're on foot, it's not that bad. Let's say it's like 6 inches ish. You know what I mean? That sort of thing.
Yeah, so it slows you up. You got to be careful. I would think that if we put Ted's horse, who knows what he's doing, kind of up front, we at least kind of like see a sure-footed path to follow. So that
I will happily take the lead and break the snow for my comrades, following the path as best we can in the guidance and wisdom of Big Spruce. Higher into the mountains, John.
Yeah. Is there any new information on the scabbard, or does it seem kind of similar when I do my ritual in the morning?
In the morning, the scabbard shows the tower alone at this point, and the tower itself is more defined, a little bit more photorealistic. And looking up at the horizon towards the north now, as the sky is sort of cleared, you can see now that the silhouette of this structure is a little bit more clear, and you can pinpoint the direction a little bit easier. And it seems to be coming from, let's see, where are you guys? You guys can advance a hex, by the way. You guys are.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. That's where you spent the night. Is coming from like this general direction.
Oh.
Okay. It's a little bit more clear. It's still very, very far away, but it does not appear to actually be in the mountains. It appears to be rising out of a thick, dense forest. And it, if you can gather at all the distance that it lies away, it must be an immense structure of multiple towers, ramparts, buttresses, almost more like a fortress or citadel rather than a single tower, although it still is represented as a single tower on your scabbard.
Okay.
You all wake up with a distinct impression that you were blessed by the worm, by His Majesty the Worm, overnight, and that is the reason that you are still fit for travel in the morning.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, I would like to take a coin, just a token, John, and kind of bury it in the earth in this layer that we just sent, kind of as a gift of thanks back to the worm for his generosity of this safety.
Mm-hmm.
And then join the team to continue in that direction, and I'll share with them as inspiration that beautiful vision that I saw.
All right, cool. So why don't we say as Sir Meridian, as his hair is fluttering in the breeze and staring towards the Citadel in the distance, give us a vibe on what Sir Meridian the Mirror Knight looks like, David.
All right. What I have written down is a cognac leather girdle, thigh-high boots, and elbow-length gloves cinch a billowing phthalo blue blouse and tight breeches, all crested by a matching mantle and chaperone. Is that how you pronounce it? Chaperone? The hat? Is it like chaperone? I don't know, it doesn't matter. Clasped tight by a golden knot. Within this knightly frame, ever-dilated eyes peer below white lashes. They wield a hooked axe and a polished round shield akin to a Van Eyck mirror upon which vague, distorted forms flit to and fro. And Meridian's steed is named Nadir, the fated steed. And Nadir is a gossamer white steed that, in the corner of one's eyes, seems briefly translucent under the full moon. They don a simple cloth saddle and golden rope reins.
Very cool. Love it. Yeah, you're the one guy who's not wearing armor, but you make up for it with your florid attire. Love it. Cool. All right. So which direction are you going, folks?
So we could descend out of the mountains northwest from this hex. Does that path seem open?
So that's actually a good question, Aurelius. As you gaze upon that particular direction into the forest, it does appear to be mounted peaks that go up and block in the same way that the miles back did as well. However, directly to the west, you can see that it extends a steep series of like stone steps that goes down into the lower foothills.
Yeah, that seems fairly obvious then, to go west and then curve north.
The question is, are you attempting to reach the myth, right? If that is what you're seeing on the horizon, or are you attempting to get to the sanctum in the worm's teeth?
Well, we don't know where either is, but the one thing that we do have a vision on, a lead on, is this thing to the northwest. So I think that at least as far as Sir Brunor would go, he would pitch continuing to seek this, as the signs have been seemingly pulling us towards there, whether they're geography or the combination of geography and these visions that we've had.
See, I would argue that I thought that the vision of the tower was leading us northeast. And now it's pulling us to the northwest. And we've had, I think, good luck so far, and the blessing of the worm. And I think we should continue to seek the sanctum.
Oh.
Go northeast, stay in the mountains, and find whatever it is that's up here. Because we were, the guidance we got from the Seers, who I honor, would be northeast or southeast. And we gave up on southeast. So I think we should continue to head northeast.
I will, I will go with the will of my group, but it's hard to argue with the vision that I saw the other night, to see something of such beauty and leave it.
Well, the tower and the thing of beauty you saw are two different things.
Right?
The blue columns.
The blue columns, they aligned with that like weird tower thing that were on my.
No.
No.
That is not like that at all.
It was more like an aurora borealis, but in a weird geometric shape.
Oh,
at nighttime.
Okay.
Right. They were in that general direction of north, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So I misunderstood. So the tower basically that was on my scabbard, that's still kind of either like north or northeast.
Northwest.
Northwest.
Yeah.
Whereas we think the sanctum is probably northeast.
Mhm.
That's what I got from John. John,
That's
if I'm, yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's yeah. Mhm.
And you know, we still don't, you know, really entirely understand what the myths are, right? I haven't played this that much. The tower could be any number of myths. Some of the things that happen to us at the tower could be good, it could be bad, it could be horrible. We could have our guts spilled out all over the ground, and seems to me like following the sanctum and the Seers is the place to start. We've done very well so far going up this direction.
Yeah. So I'm going to remind you guys of a couple of things from session 0.
Right.
Okay. The way that if you want mechanical stuff, if you want glory, you seek the myths, right? You have, if you resolve a myth, whatever that is, you get glory for it, right? You can get glory in other ways, but that's like the core thing.
Right.
The other thing though is if you feel like you do not have enough information, the people who have information are seers. They know everything, but they always are somewhat weird and eccentric and may not be willing to give you all that information, right? Normal people are much more likely to give you information because you can expect certain hospitality due to your social status, but they may not have full information, right? They're just normal people. The seers know everything there is to know about myths. It's just will they give you that information? And in addition, I have given you those mysterious leads, right? So I'm sorry they're obtuse, but that's the game, right?
No.
They are couched in riddle. That's the whole point, right? If I wanted to railroad you, I'd say you can go northeast and find one seer, or you can go southeast or find one seer. But that's kind of a shitty way to play. So, but that's as clear as I can make it.
So to clarify where I am, first, Matt, I'm cool with going towards either way. I think we can't lose. They're both fine. As Brunor, he wants to go check out these lights. He thinks that that's a sign to him of meaning and import. So he votes to go that way. But he's not going to cry or pout or anything. If you guys vote to go the opposite direction, that's fine.
The lights were just the whole northern horizon.
Yeah, picture like a clear night, like a perfect aurora borealis. It's just instead of whirling blue-green stuff, it's more like a solid 2 pillars of blue-green.
Okay, so let's continue towards the northeast then to seek out this here. I'm fine. No issue.
We haven't heard it all from Mike or David.
I mean, I am kind of taking a back seat because I'm still trying to figure out this game too, but seeking the myth seems to be like the number one thing to do in the game. And we have a myth in one direction and something else in the other direction. So I would say go towards the myth. So go find Matt's crazy towers. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I agree.
Okay. The tower. We'll go to the northwest.
Okay. Northwest. So we
go down through the hills immediately to our west and then turn.
Gotcha. Okay. So the western thing. Okay, cool. So we're past time for our second break. So why don't we do that? And we will be right back. All right. We are back. Bladders empty, beers full. Okay. So I'm hearing more westwards towards the insane looking building that's looming on the horizon. Right.
Yeah, we got them.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Sir Aurelius's sure-footed steed will lead us down out of the mountains into the hills. I will look back towards the where we thought the sanctum might be, and call out to the seer that we will return, and then proceed down and leading everyone.
Only the winds answer you, but perhaps that was a seer. As you descend down below the tree line, the temperature gets noticeably warmer as the Citadel seems to approach even further, closer towards you, dominating your sight as you descend into the foothills. This is the morning phase, correct?
Yeah, we camped in the Cougar's Den, and that's right. And then we made a decision in the morning, basically. To come down out of the mountains, right? Okay.
I think we lost.
We just lost Mike.
We lost Mike. Where did Mike go?
Dead to us.
Throw up the dead to us sign. I'm sure he'll be back. Okay.
Mike was the seer all along, and we left him behind.
He was the seer we made along the way.
Okay,
That's
let's see if we can get Mike back. We will be right back. All right, bladder's empty, beer's full. I don't know why I said that because that was just a technical hiccup.
Mike back.
My internet crap
Mike's
itself.
back.
Mike's back though. Okay, so yes, you descend out of the mountains into the foothills with the Citadel looming ever larger. Starts to warm up a little bit, and there is these hills. You're below the tree line now, so these hills are relatively forested as well as the. As you can see, you're sort of descending into a much larger forest. The let's see, as you're wandering through these pathless hills, descending always with the Citadel in the distance, you see something flit from tree to tree.
Oh no!
Around different boulders, and it's the strangest thing. You all see it because it's so odd that what you're looking at, it appears to be human-sized, but it appears to be nothing more than thousands upon thousands of concentric rings of different materials, of shining metals and wood and light. It's just the weirdest thing, and they're all spinning around, but at different angles, right? Like a gyroscope sort of thing, but about human sized, and vaguely, as you see it sort of flit from tree to tree, as you can see that the thousands of rings actually form like a relatively humanoid shape. Like you can make out like a collection of rings that may be a head, and a collection of rings that may be whirling arms, that sort of thing, right?
Interesting.
And it appears to be attempting to hide and moving very quickly from tree to tree, not towards you.
Right. So it's clearly spanning distance. It's not just like something hanging from a tree that.
No, it's moving with purpose.
Around.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Is it moving as if it's avoiding us, or we just catch it in its own sort of path?
The
Does that
latter.
make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it seems to be avoiding something. Like it's trying to hide and get away from something. It's moving erratically.
I'm picturing it almost like a dust. I'm picturing it almost like it's a dust devil full of particulates, but like a human-sized dust devil. Is that kind of like?
But it's more. You can determine like humanoid limbs and parts. But they're made out of thousands of different rings of different sorts of material, right? Some of those rings may be dust rings, probably likely are. You know, some are made out of dust motes, and some are made out of like I said, glass.
Not mechanical. Not like it's lots of gears or something like that.
No, but it gives you the impression of that, right? Like whirling gears, yeah.
Is there any light? Sorry if you said this, emanating from within the rings. Like there's an energy source.
Some of them are, yeah. Not all of them, but some of them do look to be made out of sheer pure light of all colors of the spectrum.
Okay.
John, I'm going to steer my horse towards it and unlimber my axe, but I'm going to look for whatever might be chasing it.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to fight it. I'm trying to look for whatever's chasing it.
And I'm going to, I would like to call out to this thing, John. I'm going to say, creature, we are men of honor. We are here to preserve this realm. You have nothing to fear from us.
Okay, the thing stops behind a tree. You can see it like whirling behind this tree, and its head part sort of like goes to the side, series of rings, right? No eyes, nothing like that, but it's obviously like regarding you. And a voice issues from it, but it seems to be 1,000 voices. Each time each time it sort of emits the voice, it appears like the wind sort of whips it away. Like the ends of its words are sort of like just whipped off at the very ends. It's very hard to describe. It's like nothing ever. I definitely cannot emulate it here.
Like it's being pulled in directions. Sorry, away from the source. You're saying kind of.
Yeah, it seems weirdly in unison with the movement of its rings. Right, like the speed of its rings is also the speed at which the words are being taken out of its mouth, being whipped away by the wind, sort of thing.
And kind of like The tone you get when you put your wet finger on a wine glass,
Sure,
There
that'll
you
work.
kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll buy that.
John, does it happen to sound like a Victorian child?
Oh, I would love if it did.
Don't ask
What?
Don't tempt me, Frodo. But no, I like the wine glass thing. So yeah, I would see at least it would be that sort of grating to your senses as it speaks. Let's see. Give me 1 second here.
So it's an understandable language. We understand its words.
Yes,
even though
yes.
that's ripped away.
So it does. Yeah, it speaks the common tongue to you, and it says, "Knights, I am in great danger. The Watcher stalks me and my kind. I must find another sanctum. You will honor me. If you help."
It's a seer. Okay.
Wow.
We seek to serve, O great seer. How can we impede this Watcher? Is he near, or are they near?
It is everywhere. It is nowhere. It comes from the Citadel. Where the Citadel came, I know not. Recent it is, but ever dominant. I know only it seeks to destroy us all.
The Citadel north of us here?
Yes, beyond, look.
Okay.
I come from the area of the wheeling heavens, but I must abandon it, find somewhere safe, for the Watcher knows where I reside.
I will draw my sword and ask if the Watcher is near.
I think it is. I can sense it. It bears a long sword of glass that cuts. It cuts ever so quickly.
Oh boy.
It bears a crystal lantern in its other fist.
Okay. Do I see any lights in the trees, John, as if there's a crystal lantern coming towards us?
You do not, no.
Okay.
I must seek another sanctum. Please,
Know ye
take on the Citadel. Find the Watcher, destroy it, or the Seers will all perish in this realm, and the realm will be lost forever.
John, I tell the seer the direction and location of that den where we were.
Good call.
And tell him that we rested there ourselves. It was a safe haven, a gift of His Majesty the Worm himself.
Not. That is from whence I came. For the area is beyond.
What about the cave with the plants? Would that be a better? We describe it to him and ask if that would be better. A better sanctum.
The source of the Meanderborn. Yes, perhaps. That may be adequate for a time. The Watcher will find me, though, eventually.
We'll handle
you,
it.
Describing, Matt? Isn't that what you were talking about, Matt?
I think he was talking about where we camped.
I was talking about like the last place we camped, but Mike's idea is even better.
I see. I thought you were talking about the cave. Okay.
Yes, the great garden of the Meanderborn. I'd forgotten. I shall make my way thence.
We will seek you there after we destroy the Watcher.
I thank you, knights. Your names.
I'm Sir Aurelius, the Dove
Sir
Knight.
Meridian. Yes. The rest of you?
Sir Malachi, the Bloody Knight.
And I am Sir Bruno the Black. We shall protect you. We shall honor you. Can you tell us anything about this wonder? How might we gird ourselves? How might we prepare ourselves to defeat him in your name?
I know not, but he is violent. I know this. Violence must be met with violence sometime. I fear this may be one. This might be one of those instances.
Know ye if he has any lieutenants that protect him?
Aye, that he does. He sends forth hounds made of iron that course constantly, that seek us out. New knights are you to the realm. This is well. This portends well. Perhaps the worm has sensed the need and has brought you forth. Yes, this is good.
Has the Watcher laid Seers low? Or
I know not
have we
about my
found any
brethren.
yet?
I fear that it may have happened already, but I know that I am next. I must seek out the Meanderborn Gardens. Yes, for your sake and for ours. Seek out the Citadel. Find the Watcher.
Okay, you got it.
John, I shall spread the news of your arrival in the realm. If you survive this, if you save us all, seek out the Sidereal Guard.
Sidereal.
They are corrupt.
These are the Queen guards.
Guards. Indeed.
Okay,
Let's do this.
John, I'm gonna take out my sword. I'm gonna hold it to my head in honor. Then I'm gonna cut off a little ringlet of my hair, and I'm gonna toss it in the air to towards him as a gesture, an offering to add a ring of my own body into his rings.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
If he would accept it.
Okay.
As a gift of my promise.
Right. So the
help.
arm-like extension of these rings, right, sort of reaches out, and there's no grasping, there's no fingers at all. But as you sort of set your ringlet in amongst it, it incorporates in and starts to whirl with the rest of it, and the part that would be its neck sort of bows in acknowledgement, and it says,
Courtesy at least you bring to the realm, long absent.
You honor me. I shall do my best.
Find me at the Meanderborn Gardens, or should you defeat the Watcher, I may return to my area.
and she it points. I'll actually give you this. It will point. Make sure I'm pointing at the right spot here. Points in this direction right here. Whoops, let me switch the mirror for the audience right there. Right here.
Okay.
Okay. So it appears that you were very close.
Don't. No, this is good though. This puts a lot of clarity into what's going on in the realm. I feel a lot better about heading to the Citadel now.
Okay.
Correct. I think it's the right move. Yeah.
There would be. This is kind of a weird thing. I just realized, like when you encounter a seer, because they don't really have names, it would be weird for them to be like, "I am this seer." So I'm just going to I'm going to kind of give it to you. This is the orbital seer.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Oh, well, where did that name come from? I don't understand.
It's weirdly dissociated with what it looks like.
I really like the ring of hair idea, Matt. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, we could put anything in there, right?
Little hair fan.
Anything ring shaped.
So that was the morning phase here as the hills.
Yeah.
So you're in like forested hills, but the forest as it goes down into the lowlands becomes much more dense and thick to the west.
All right. So, but the Citadel we're seeing is northwest of here, right?
Yes.
Right.
Northwest. Okay. And now that there's been this mention of these iron dogs that are hunting the realm, I'm going to take extra care to look for those big dog paw prints in the earth as we travel.
Yeah. It's a good call.
I think travel with my sword out. And watching the ground, watching the horizon and the trees. No more singing as we go. No more joking.
Are your little tiny wings flapping?
By the way, too, you should definitely feel free to go nuts on the map as far as writing things down and things like that. So there are a couple things so you should mark everything that you find, right? Like in each hex, like anything interesting. Yeah. For instance, you now know the name of that was technically by the book is called a monument, which was the Meanderborn Gardens. Mm-hmm. Okay. That because as Mike pointed out at the time, it's good to remember that because if you need to restore your spirit, it's a place where you can go do it. Right. That is also where the orbital seer apparently is making their way. And so that you also now know that the river that flows out of there is the River Meander.
John, since we're on this topic, can you unlock that red hex? Because I couldn't duplicate it to show hexes we'd been in.
Let's see,
and it says that it's locked by the the board owner.
There you
go. Okay.
And
cool.
I should also say too that likely the orbital seer would have mentioned, as they talked about like the Airy and stuff like that, the name of the mountain range that is here in that northwestern area. They also would have conveyed what is called the Cairngorms. Okay. So it appears that your seer's imprecations about traveling northeast into the worm's teeth was sort of more of like a poetic license sort of thing. Also, if you're not picking up the vibe, the idea of His Majesty the Worm is very akin to the dragon from Excalibur, right? So
yes. Baby.
Yeah, sort of like this primeval, not necessarily not necessarily what's the word, beneficent force of nature sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
When do we get to the Helen Mirren part?
You can also highlight the starting hex too, which is where you were right here.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah, great idea.
What you might also want to do is come up with a way to indicate where there were barriers. Right, I described those narratively, but that is actually a mechanical thing. So,
I can figure that out.
Yeah. Okay, so we're almost at time here. But you're traveling northwest from the hex that you're going into now, that you're in now, right?
Correct.
Okay. So I'm just going to make a note here that you are traveling northwest into that hex. And it is the second phase, right? It is the afternoon phase.
I believe
is when you're going to be traveling. Okay, cool. What I'm going to say is, as you move into that hex, the Citadel is ever dominant, but weirdly, as you move into the forest proper, obviously some of it's obscured by the canopy of trees overhead, but that the Citadel, even though it's dominating your sight, does not seem to get closer. Hey everyone, you're just hearing and probably just seeing me after I dropped out when my camera had a problem. We attempted to record, but it did not do so, so we lost the last 2 minutes or so of gameplay. There wasn't that much, so I'm just going to give a quick recap. What occurred was after they were coming down out of the mountains into that forest, and I mentioned that the Citadel was looming before them, one thing they noticed was that the Citadel itself did not seem to be getting any closer as they moved towards it, even though it was looming over them, over the trees. And we ended the episode with them hearing the baying of hounds in the near distance coming from all directions. They assume, probably correctly, that those are the iron hounds that the orbital seer mentioned were hunting the Seers and the orbital seer. So we left it there. I also spotlighted Mike briefly because I almost forgot to get his description for Sir Malachi, the Bloody Knight. So we lost Mike's excellent description of his character. We will pick that up at the top of episode 2. Sorry about that. And of course, we lost our Conqueror reads, which were also done by Mike. So I'm going to give those Conqueror reads right now, and we will be back in action for episode 2. So thank you, as always, to all of our paid subscriber Patreons, our explorers, our delvers, and of course, especially our conquerors. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon on YouTube. Get notifications every time we publish new material. And if you've enjoyed this content and you want some more, think about hooking us up with a Patreon subscription. You will get access to a whole other ongoing campaign. We are playing Return to Dolmenwood using the Dolmenwood TTRPG and really enjoying it. And so here are the Conquerors. Black Knife Media, Noah Green, Chad Versluis, Lost Among the Stars, Phytobot, Eric Leander, Sir Reluctant Nightsea, Bastionland, Menelaus, Governor of Shadengard, Dapper Dinosaur, Berwyn, Glintwine, Incunabuli, Scoom, The Lonely Dwarf Housewives in Your Area Appreciation Night, Lucifer, Chris Ackroyd, Jaron Goodman, 3C_273, Evan Leroy, Narrative Erection, Adam McKinney, Ioet, Classless Chaps, Heath Gordon, Ryan Gunter, Chris Harvey, Bren Kneecleaver, Source Sirius, Chris Malone DM, Cranbox, Oxian, Erica, Lord Gnarlgruff the Necro Goat, A Hard Day's Night, Onion Farmer from High Hankle, Awkward Silence, Mike Butts, Ye holy order of old dirty clergy for biggest stickest on crucifixus, blessed be our well-hung Lord. Z. Billy Rubin Knight, John Busick, Eric Mater, Mark Dyson, Carl Stephenson, Necrotic Gnome, Derek B., Bob Seegers, Night Moves, Eric Manley, Iron Fox Gaming, Boogie Knight, Jeff, Jofo, Brutes Monkeys, the Hot Dog Knight of the 7-Eleven Rolling Table, The Mighty Martian, Noah, AJ, Nightly Omissions, Just Mike, Brett Sullivan, Desiree Marcel, Grizz Loves Games, Dustin Reedy, Chris Rowe, Benjamin, Steve of Bill and Steve, King of Joops, MP, Todd, the Bodacious Knight of Braggadocio and his Mystic Magic Banjo Band, Steve, Jeff Marino, Robert Kirkland, Eric Tsunami MD, Yesterday's Glory, Richard Barton, Christian Carter, The Three Dog Knight, Tucker Kid, Good Night, James, Chris Loricella, John Hooker, Mordrew, Zachary Hall, Saps, Now It's Time for the Knights, Papa Bear DM, Zach Shiflett, The Mercurial Knight, Squire Quinn, Between Two Davids, Procyon, Dakota Nielsen, Cam, Stephen Quisenberry, John and Law Logan, Kabrowskis, The Bruised Knight, Phil, It Was a Dark and Stormy Night, Rocket Frog Eric, Nick, Jeff Szymanski, Eric Lawson, Mando NZ, Faisal Bouchawarab, Jimbo WA, Ted Gast, Taru Throat Sheaf, Mutt Club, Andrew Schroker, Jason Jones, MM, Michael Schilling, Stefano Di Maiolo, The Ash Knight, Chongus, Hexbrawler Josh is here. Hexbrawler Josh is here for Ribblemead's Goats. Arno, Iona, Michael Walker, Mother of Romulus, Han Dandler, Sean Ellis, Summon Toast, Too Rude to Ishvan, A Night to Remember, Dungeon Heart Adam, Scott Yearsley, Kick Maniac, Dyer Grew, Tom Eric Gerritsen, and the Mats. Matthew Mattis, Mads the Danish Matt Dwarfs Better Than Mike, Matt Sir Pork of Roll Walsh, Matt Koenig, and Matt Young. Thank you all so much for your continued support. This has been 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. We will see you all next time for episode 2 of Mythic Bastionland the Adamant Expanse. Take care.